Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Grown Man Clique. I am your boy, J.I., the mass creator. Over here to my left, we have.
Van Go.
Over here to my right, we have.
Scott T.
My boy, Richie Rich, is not in the building tonight. We all send him love. You know, he's taking care of business. And we also have the producer you're not used to over in the corner, my boy, Eli. What's up, Eli?
Yep.
Good evening. Good evening.
And on the screen, we have my boy John. What's up, John C. up in the house?
John
Yeah,
got the
you
preacher
know,
shirt on.
you know what I
What
love
up?
about my job. You know what I love. This
Yes,
back
sir.
here.
Yeah.
I can see nobody can creep up on me.
Nice.
No boss, no one. I love it.
And in the peanut gallery tonight, we have the illustrious Mrs. Mass Creator. Sheila's over in the peanut gallery. Hey, Sheila.
Yay, yay.
And also in the peanut gallery, we have our girl Jay Nicole. Hey,
Hey,
Jay.
Jay.
So,
She's invisible.
So she's invisible. So, um, this is a more laid back version of the Grown Man Click podcast. So, if you're not used to us actually having sense, then you haven't seen one of our more serious shows. But this one, we still gonna have fun. We still gonna laugh and joke. But this is a very somber and historic day in the history of America. This was one of only the second times we had domestic terrorism on our soil. First time being Pearl Harbor on a massive scale. And then the second time, of course, being 9/11. Um, Almost 3,000 people perished in one day.
Mhm.
Um, so unlike the normal rhetoric and your loudness and all the noise that we normally start our show with, I thought it would be cool to just have a moment of silence for all of the people who lost loved ones, all of the people who lost their lives, for all of the first responders who gave everything they could, and some of them perished as well. We just want to give them their love and respect. So this is a moment of silence to everyone who was affected by loss on 9/11. All right, thank you. So now we must start the podcast. So as we always do, we're gonna lift our glasses.
it's bullshit. You I'm at work. I can't participate.
To an amazing.
Oh yeah, here's
podcast.
my Red Bull. Yeah.
There you go. That's a drink. Clink, clink.
Drink,
Drink, drink. There we go.
So much damn caffeine. It's a wonder I look like a fucking crackhead.
Wow.
Hey Jerry, can I pop this off? Can
Yeah.
I?
Go right ahead. Hey, Katie.
So I remember. Sorry, I haven't got this whole camera thing down, but I remember I was living in Tampa, Florida, and I was on my way. I believe I was on my way home for a break, and I started hearing about it on the radio, and then I saw it on the news, and it was definitely something else. That's really it. It,
Wow.
What up,
definitely,
Brad?
that. Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, what's up,
The
Grizz? Welcome,
Grizz.
the sophisticated Grizzly. There's Teddy to the house.
What's going on, everybody?
Not much, man. You know, it's a little bit more laid back, subdued vibe to the show tonight. We started off with a moment of silence for the people who lost their lives, first responders, and people who were affected by the terrorist acts of 9/11. And John just shared where he was doing when he found out that there had been a domestic terrorist attack.
Just like they say on the infomercial, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, what else?
Right.
No. In all seriousness, the one thing though that really disturbed me was the amount of hate that I noticed towards people. At that point, if you were, how can I say it, if you were of any shade of brown, it, just the racism and the hatred at that point went so up. It was actually quite disgusting.
Sort of like the thing that happened during
Right.
the
And
was it the
especially,
war?
Yeah.
We
uh,
had concentration camps here in America, right?
And for
Some of Vietnam. Yeah.
Korean and Japanese.
Yeah.
Korean and
So
Japanese.
Yeah.
definitely. Would anybody else like to go about where they were and what they were doing when they found out that we had been attacked?
Unfortunately, just like JFK, as I've heard, I remember exactly where I was 9/11. I was a government contractor, and I was in Rockville, I want to say, and normal day, started my work just like any other day, and like most government buildings in and around DC, they usually play. They're usually running CNN,
Right.
like in the elevator vestibules and in the hallways or what have you. And I'm at my desk, and somebody comes in the office area.
You okay,
Wow,
John?
that
it's,
wasn't that
it's not
exciting,
me.
John.
I've got the phone propped up on a coffee cup.
I didn't get to the exciting part yet, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm at my desk, and somebody busts in the office area from the elevator, and it's like, somebody just blew up the da 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 da. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. First thought in my mind is Orson Welles' End of the World back in the 30s.
Right.
right.
I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. And then 7 minutes later, actually saw them fly into the second building. And I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um yeah, they let us go. I don't remember driving home, but I had to drive home because I was in Rockville. Stopped at Walmart on 40 in Ellicott City, and about 20 of us had church right on the side of the Walmart building.
Mm,
This was like 11 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
The other thing
Wow.
that's distinctive is, I don't know if anyone remembers at this point, but for about, what was it, 3 months, 4 months, you did not hear a plane in the sky if it wasn't a jet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Crazy. So that's my story.
Yeah. So my story was a little bit different because I was kind of like double duty at the same time. What I mean by that, I was um, working as a contractor for the government, and I was in the military at the same time. I just gotten into my office, and I've been with the company probably maybe 5 months at the time. It was a new program they had started doing electronic security on some of the embassies and things that had gotten blown up overseas. They needed people to go over there and rebuild them. So I was actually getting ready to travel overseas when it
Wow.
happened. I was in a building that was about maybe 6 blocks from the Pentagon.
Mm,
And I got in that work that morning, got off the elevator, and saw the receptionist. She always had like a little TV, like Scott was saying, with CNN going or whatever. And I saw the first plane hit right there. And I was like, man, that's crazy. What's the name of this movie? I might have to go home and check this out when I get off work tonight.
Right.
And she's like, no, this is happening for real. I was like, whatever, okay, that's cool, So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go, outside real quick, grab me a cup of coffee, and then go back to my desk. And I walked past the windows, and we had like a little outside patio out there, and I saw one of my coworkers out there smoking. So I walk out there with him, and as we're standing there, we see the plane go between the buildings
Mm-hmm.
and hit the Pentagon. We
Wow.
didn't see the Pentagon
Right.
because the high rises were right there. We were
Yeah.
right there in Roslyn, so we saw it when it passed Wilson Boulevard, and then we saw the smoke come up. I was like, well, that's going to be a mess. And then I walked back inside and then saw the second plane hit. Bam! And I was like, wait a minute, what is really going on?
Right.
Everything kind of just went haywire from there.
Right.
My phone started ringing because my unit started calling me up. And then there was this conversation about who needed me more that day.
Right.
Because one, I was a government contractor on this hand, I was in the military on this hand, and they had just called up everybody.
Right.
So my unit commander and my boss had to have a conversation about who needed me more that day.
Wow.
Well, within about an hour, I found myself at the armory here in Maryland, sitting on top of an old Vietnam era APC with 300 rounds locked into the chamber, pointed up Frank Tippett Road towards where 301 is, in a two-piece black Perry Ellis suit. I didn't even have gear on. With
Right.
orders to light up anything that came up on that property that
Right.
didn't have a DOD sticker on it.
Right.
No helmet, no boots, no tactical gear. Felt kind of like a James Bond moment. Here I am on a tank in a suit with my his name was Sergeant Ball. I don't even know if he's still around or not, but he was actually in his PJs with his two dogs watching the back of the armory and the motor pool with his two handguns on him, because the armorer hadn't come into the unit yet to open up the vault. So that's all we had to go with.
Right.
One APC and his two personal handguns and two dogs. That was it.
Wow.
That was it to protect an armory. And then I was like, so what next? And they were like, you're
don't know.
just here.
Right.
And I'm like, till
So
when?
we say you leaving.
Till we say you go.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I was there for probably almost 3 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
because we were a communications unit. So, we had to make sure all the communications and everything were up. Because as we all know, the communications got saturated, the cell phones went down.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were there. We had to put up emergency communications right there on the spot just to keep our stuff coordinated throughout Maryland.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. I found out probably a month later from a friend of mine that I've known since the 4th grade. He's a DC police officer. That our 6th grade math teacher was on the plane that went down in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a day.
And let's us not forget that plane that went down in Pennsylvania was destined for the White House.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my day was different than I think anybody's, because I was at home, and my wife would tell you, like, that was when I was working at Donna's in the University of Maryland. And I didn't have to go in. My wife you were already at work. You left for work 6 o'clock in the morning. You had already went in to go to work. And usually around 7 o'clock after she leaves, I cut on the TV, and what do? the Today Show with Matt Lauer and Katie Couric.
Mhm.
So I was actually laying in my bed watching the Today Show, and everything was regular day. Got up, got ready to iron my clothes and everything, and get ready for a regular day at the hospital. There's another drop, um, and I was watching, and Ed Lauer, that's his name, right?
Matt
Matt,
Lauer.
Matt Lauer, Matt Lauer, Matt Lauer said, "We've got breaking news from the World Trade Center. It seems there's a fire or some kind of incident." So they're actually showing the remnants of the first plane already had entered the building, and then he started getting word in his ear that a plane, and he said, "Well, there was a plane that flew into the World Trade Center. We don't have any information." And they were literally, I mean, literally while they were reporting it, I mean, like 4 minutes after they started reporting it, I watched live on network television the second plane
Mhm.
fly
Into
into the World
tower
Trade
number
Center.
two. Mm.
And everybody just lost it. It was like it went from the Today Show to breaking news immediately.
Mhm.
Then, while we're watching that, they talk about the plane flying into the Pentagon.
Right.
Yep.
At that point, my phone rings.
Right.
I worked at University of Maryland Medical Center downtown. I worked right outside of shock trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I was a restaurateur, so it's not like I was going to help save lives, but they called me in early. I think Sheila got off early that day, and people were scrambling. I remember you were coming home. You was like, what's going to happen with the kids?" And I said, "I don't know. I haven't heard from the kids." Then they contacted you. You picked them up early from school because school was closing early. I had to go to the hospital because they told me that they needed me at the restaurant because they were sending doctors from Mead and doctors from another hospital to go to shock trauma
Mm-hmm.
and help out the shock trauma team because they were sending the critically injured to the closest hospital that was to them from the White House and from the Pentagon and
Mhm.
Pennsylvania. So we were the closest, highest rated shock trauma
Shock
unit.
trauma unit. Right.
Yep.
And so I went in, and they patted me down.
Mm-hmm.
Even he's like, "I know, Mr. Jerry, I know you run the restaurant, but I have to go ahead, do what you got to do." So for hours, we spent feeding people for free
Yep.
because
Mhm.
they didn't know who, what, where, why, how their loved ones were doing. We were taking care of the doctors, giving them food, giving them coffee, drinks. I don't even remember leaving. All I know is that I told Sheila I'll be home when I get home. And then I mean, it was just surreal
Yep.
Mhm.
to hear sirens all day, not police sirens,
Right.
emergency access sirens,
Right.
helicopters, jets,
Mm-hmm.
not commercial. We're talking fighter
Fighter
jets
jets.
Right.
Yep.
because they said they may be trying to hit the towers in Baltimore. Remember that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they had jets flying down the harbor. If you don't know anything about how Baltimore is set up, University of Maryland Medical Center is less than a mile away from the World Trade Center.
Right.
So in Baltimore, so they had jets flying through there.
Right.
And I remember Sheila was like, "You going in there?" I'm like, "It's okay. I'm not going to we're fine." But that's your wife being a mama bear, you know?
Right.
Right.
I was so blown away that, I mean, I literally watched, and I mean, I was in shock for a while because I watched the towers fall.
Right.
I mean, like I heard people on the news crying. It was crazy.
Yep.
And then, we had the TVs on and we were watching this all over because, hospitals have all these TVs on. And we were just watching the carnage and the just manic state that the whole country was in.
Well,
Right.
yeah, we were all in shock because we actually did not know what was
Was
happening.
going on.
Right.
We
Right.
had no clue, so we had to prepare for the absolute worst.
Right.
At first, they thought it was an accident. Then they thought this isn't a coincidence. And then when the third plane hit, it was high alert.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, it was so wild. So, Grizz,
Yeah.
share your story of that day.
Well, I was at the job I'm still at today, actually. Um, I remember, believe it or not, when I came to work that day, the only thing I was thinking about was that was the opening day of the NFL.
Yep.
And I'm thinking about the Ravens repeating the Super Bowl. That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
Right.
And I remember sitting down at my desk. It was early in the morning. And I remember people running through the hallway. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell's going on? So I'm still sitting at my desk, and I was actually on the internet looking for the Ravens roster and see who we got and all this other stuff. And somebody came to my desk and says, "Hey, Sean, did you hear? Did I hear what? Somebody attacked the World Trade Center." And I'm thinking Baltimore. So I'm
Because
thinking, like, what the hell are you
we
talking about?
always like that. We always think
Yeah,
it's ball.
yeah, I'm thinking Baltimore. And I'm like, they said, yeah, they flew planes into the World Trade Center. I said, man, bullshit. And next thing you know, I see more people running. I said, why is everybody running? They said, we getting the hell out of here because we don't know if they're getting ready. These people actually attacked the World Trade Center. We don't know if they're getting ready to start attacking major institutions.
Right,
And my job would be considered something like that.
right.
And I'm like, okay, so then that's when, right after my coworker left the room, the CEO uh, puts out this message saying, everybody, go home for the day, go home, be with your families. And I remember driving home, and I get in the house, and I remember watching TV, and they were replaying the planes going into the World Trade Center.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, like, this is this real? Like, this can't be real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still in a state of shock. I'm still in a state of like, and now I'm starting to be like, well, how the hell they get the planes in here? Like, how they get the planes? Like, and I'm thinking, see, I'm always thinking America. We got air traffic control. We got all of this stuff. So I'm thinking they flew planes from a whole nother country over here and attacked us, not thinking that they stole planes from here. So
Right.
as the story started to unfold, and I'm really hearing about it, and this is all within this same day because people are calling me, and they calling my family, and we're getting different information and all this other stuff. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, this country is about to be up in arms
Right.
Hey,
because
yep.
my first thought is everybody that had a gun now has a justification for having one.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Because if we're now worried about attackers coming into the country, everybody
Right.
got to defend themselves. So believe it or not, I'm thinking, and like I said, this is just the same day.
Yep.
I'm thinking they're about to be a bunch of militias.
Mm-hmm.
And my next thought, because I remember talking to my mother, and she says a lot of Arab people are going to be in danger today.
Right.
And she worked with a lot of Arab people at that time.
Yep.
And she says, I need to, because they were her friends. She says, I have to check on my friends. She said, because they're going to be under attack. And I remember some of my friends were out. They were coming knocking on the door, checking on me and my family and everything. And one of my boys said, "Hey man, can you take me down the street? to 7-Eleven. I said, well, we're going down the street. Jerry, you remember the 7-Eleven down the street from my house
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I lived on Patterson Park?
yeah.
Yeah. So right up by the brownstones, and he said, I gotta go check on Sharif because
Right.
I already know. And
Yep.
before I could even get up there, before we could even get up there were people running down the street because
Right.
apparently Sharif's store had gotten ransacked and it was a bunch of, white folk going in there attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of white folk going in there attacking him. And of course we're like, but this is Sharif. We're not even thinking, we don't think all, like for the most part.
Right.
We don't think that every Arab person is flying planes into shit,
Right.
But I'm listening to the mass hysteria. And I remember there are people that joined the military that day. Some of my friends
Yeah,
joined the military that day
just
Right.
for that
Right.
reason.
just for that reason. I mean, hell, we can go even back to what's his name?
Hussein,
NFL player that left the NFL,
Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman.
yeah,
Right.
He was killed in action. But he left the military. I mean, he left the NFL to go into the military. And you're thinking about how many people actually just on that day decided to add to the war machine. And I remember still really not grasping what was really good. I understood it, but I wasn't trying to hear it. I wasn't trying to believe it
right.
Right.
because
It didn't register.
Well, I
it,
mean, we
it wouldn't.
all
Yeah,
since Pearl Harbor. And think about this?
right,
For the most part, the only country that has never really felt the brunt of war is Canada.
right.
Yeah,
That's
We
it.
have, we have felt the brunt of war either by taking our troops and going elsewhere or by Pearl Harbor. And now civilian losses in the thousands for the first time on American soil since Pearl Harbor.
Right,
We had a nation. Well, we had a world in shock.
right.
It was the world was in shock. Nobody was ready for this.
right.
No,
We I mean, I don't care what Ed Norris says about him having information about Al Qaeda and being a why didn't nobody took him serious, and that's why I don't even pay attention when he talks about he could have thwarted 9/11. Whatever. Um, but the whole idea is that this time in our lives was like the same response when people on the mainland heard what happened at Pearl Harbor.
Right.
right.
But imagine the delay they had compared to us.
Right.
Right.
We-
We saw it in real time.
First plane, every bit of footage of the first plane flying into the building is cell phone footage.
Yeah.
There is no
Can't
hard
yeah.
copy of the actual video from any camera.
Yeah.
Maybe a camcorder was the most from people being
Right. But actual news media.
sightseers.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But I
back then,
think
even the cell phone video, like the pictures, I
Yeah.
left the pictures that I used for the commercial the way they were because I knew that it was because that's the way it looked on a cell phone in that year.
right,
was-
it did. Yeah.
That was the best
was
you
it?
could do.
Well,
Yeah.
if you remember, technology wise, the only country that we would see that's as wired up as we are now, camera wise, is
Great
is
Britain.
London.
Yeah,
London. Yeah.
UK.
Because London been wired for decades.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the part for me, the part that when it finally registered, I'm not gonna lie, this is the part when I got angry. When I saw the buildings fall.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the part that it really kind of like
Yeah.
how many people lost their lives
Right.
In an
when those
instant.
buildings fell in an instant, and the people that were too close to the buildings when they fell. Like there are people who develop all kinds of lung problems just from the debris alone.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just I got so pissed off. But then I had to think like, well, who am I pissed off with? I can't be pissed off with an entire country of people for the deeds of a handful of people. But that was the narrative that was going around.
Right.
And
And see,
believe it or not, and this is real quick, this actually followed that happened that happened 9/11 happened a long time ago, but this followed all the way up into when Obama first got elected, to one of my coworkers
yeah,
saying that, how could you want to vote for somebody who has ties to terrorism after they blew up the World Trade Center?
right,
And I said, well, what ties to terrorism does this man have?
His name
She
is
says, well,
Obama.
his name is Barack Obama. That's an Arab name. I said, ma'am, that name is African.
right.
Right.
I said,
Right. And that was before most people realized that Hussein was in his name.
exactly.
Right.
And it was crazy because she was dead serious.
Yeah,
And it was because of the events of 9/11 that caused her to, even at that moment, have a problem. Not even because of the deeds of the man or the works that he's done, or even the information that you could go out there and find for yourself that he was able to do in Chicago. You worry about his name because it was attached to what you assumed was a terrorist
right,
because of his name being Hussein. And to me, it was just like the that moment was like surreal for me, because we already know we live in a very racist ass country.
right,
And it don't take much for people to latch on to shit and carry that damn thing. Like, first of all, we had to get a Stop Asian Hate bill going on. So it don't take much for this country to latch on to something like a damn pit bull and carry that damn thing all the way up yonder. So I automatically knew right then and there, because I've heard some of even my brothers talking about, those Arab, whats, and then like that's not the whole country didn't do that.
right,
Half the country, I can guarantee you, 99% of the country didn't even know you was doing that.
Right.
But
right.
you just
99 and 9 tenths.
Right.
exactly.
The
They
strange
had
thing,
no clue.
the strange thing about all of it
Right.
is that within a few hours of it happening, some of the Middle Eastern countries jumped out there instantly and said, "You know what? We may not like America,
Mhm.
but
We did.
that wasn't us this
Yeah,
time.
we
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
Like we're letting you know up front that wasn't us. We
because
wish we
because
could take credit for this, but that wasn't on us this time."
because
No.
they knew instantly.
Yeah.
And
That it was a war
and
starter.
remember, we're not talking about one country. We're talking about
We're talking about several.
like we experience in this country. We're talking about an entire community
Right.
that's larger than our community.
Right.
Right. Right.
And they, just like we knew, just out of the playbook, they basically they indicted the entire community.
But
Yep.
they do that to us.
I
Yeah.
know that's
Yeah.
how we knew it was gonna happen because they did it to us.
Yep.
And some of the names that came out of that, like there's one in particular that bothers me the most. And forgive me for anybody on here that may be offended, but I heard a lot of white folks say sand nigger.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
Yeah.
it bothers me to hear you say it directed at me. But you weren't even clever adding sand to it. But just the thought that that's your first go-to thing, to
Right.
to use that word, to attach it to a whole nother community simply because you feel like they did something to hurt you.
Right.
Half
Yeah.
of y'all didn't even know people in the World Trade Center.
Exactly.
Half of you never even been to the damn New World. Most of you ain't been to New York.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
You get the first one of the night.
So well, you do realize that is attack on all of us. No, it was attack on the World Trade Center. It was an attack on on the economy of the
And
United States.
and you talk
Right.
about attacking the Pentagon. You don't agree with what the military doing anyway. You don't agree
Exactly.
with what the government
Yeah.
doing anyway. So why you yelling?
Yeah.
Right.
But all of a sudden, well,
Exactly.
we can't never forget. We can't never
Right.
forget. But every time we bring up slavery, we're told to forget.
Right.
The military actually figured out that it was an economic attack within
Of
like the
course.
first week
Yeah.
because there's a list that they have of strategic targets.
Right.
And believe it or not, Washington, D.C. is not even on the top 10 of those strategic targets.
No.
Because there's nothing there.
The
There's no
first,
money there.
the first strategic target on that list, as weird as it may sound,
Fort
Mhm.
Knox.
no,
No, it's not for me.
you're going to be completely surprised.
Maybe not.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Is that where one of the mints are?
No. Columbia, South Carolina houses Fort Jackson. That's where all your drill
Right.
sergeants come from.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
You're
okay.
within 50 miles of the Army's communications center at Fort Gordon.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Fort Stewart is air assault, which is right outside of there, and Savannah River Nuclear Site is also within that 50-mile range.
Right.
Wow.
You hit Columbia, South Carolina, and flood that dam right there at Lake Murray, you will put South Carolina underwater by about 6 feet everywhere.
Mhm.
Jesus.
You stop the response. There
Well,
are
that
10
ain't
other
gonna
places
happen.
that are on that list before you actually get to DC.
Yeah,
Right.
but that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
That has to be the most fortified area in America then.
Yeah.
You would think.
You would think so.
Yeah.
We know.
But
Because ain't shit in Area 51 to protect. Nobody
I mean,
going nobody gonna be protecting the aliens in Area 51.
right. Well, I mean,
They
you look at where they did attack though. You look at where they did attack. They went right after the economy. Right after
Yeah.
it. Like right
Yeah,
after what they felt
Definitely
would
an
be
economic attack.
but
Yeah.
but they
because New
didn't
York holds
attack
most of the
that
economy.
Yeah, but they didn't attack that much of the economy because everything that happens on Wall Street is actually electronic.
Right.
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 And because of the casualty lost, they wanted to affect us.
Right.
Right.
It wasn't even about who they killed or the economic loss. If you do what they did in New York, or if you do what they did in LA, and now like this day and age, if you do what they did in Atlanta, Georgia, it would affect all of America.
Yeah.
Right. Right. But it's just the whole thing for me was like, I don't know, man. It was, believe it or not, in my entire life, I'm just going to say this, and
Yeah.
it's going to be funny. It's the most patriotic I've ever felt because I ain't felt it again. But it's the only time in my life I've ever felt patriotic. It's the only time I looked at that damn flag like, yeah,
I bet you I could tell you another time
when
when Whitney sang the national anthem at the Olympics.
I didn't feel patriotic. I was pretty much like, yeah,
It's like, nope.
What?
no, didn't give a damn. I'm be honest with you, and I know people gonna crucify me for this, but hell, fight me. What you want to do? I've never been the biggest Whitney Houston fan. I've always res- I've always respected her talent, but I've never been a fan of her music.
Why? And tell me the first on your list. Tell me.
Overhyped.
Yeah.
That's not it.
For me, it was just the thing is, I won't say Whitney didn't have good music. I won't say it.
Right.
I won't say she wasn't immensely talented.
Right.
Her music did not resonate with me.
Right.
Right. You get it again.
It just didn't resonate with me.
Talented. She did a great job singing every song she sang. But if you wanted to feel a song, you could put Mary J. Blige in front of her. Because you don't feel, I didn't feel, my wife I probably won't get none tonight. My wife knows how I feel. I think Whitney was immensely talented,
Yeah.
but she loves Whitney. And I say you can sing any song you want, except for one that Whitney sang, and it has a near and dear spirit in my to me because the day that I lost my mom, I
Right.
got in my car to drive over to my mom's house from the hospital after we had, found out she had passed.
Right.
And um her rendition of oh my gosh, now I can't even tell you the name of it because but it's a song that she sang on the Preacher's Wife soundtrack.
Oh,
And but when it comes on to this
yeah.
day, um I love the Lord.
Yeah.
I love the Lord.
Yeah.
When she sang that
Yeah.
on that soundtrack, it
Yeah.
didn't
Right.
resonate. But I got in that car because I don't even think I had told you at that point. I went because I had to go home, which was my mom's house, before I told my mom, my wife, and my kids that grandma passed. And I was driving home, and that song, I mean, wasn't even on a gospel station.
Right.
And it was early in the morning, so it was like, and it wasn't a Sunday.
Right.
So it was just g-
You were just on.
my creator talking to me saying, you need this.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, whenever I hear that song sung by Whitney,
Yeah.
I feel it.
Right. And you know what? I had to think about it. I do have one song that Whitney sang that I felt all the way down to my bone marrow, and that was her song. I didn't know my own strength
Oh, okay.
because I could hear it in her voice.
Right.
The
Yeah.
lifetime of everything that she has gone through and come through and survived.
Right.
And in that song right there resonated with me
Right.
because a lot. Let's just call it what it is. Whitney sang a lot of pop.
Yeah.
Right.
And I wasn't a pop. I was not a pop music fan.
Right.
I
She
am.
wasn't so much as far. Not that she couldn't sing R&B, but Whitney was pop. You know
Yeah.
that was where she was. That was where she was marketed at. And
Right.
I didn't listen to pop music.
But she sang the
So
shit out of the national anthem too. I will give it.
yeah,
Let me, because this the third one tonight.
right.
Whitney gets it for the national anthem.
I'll
That
give that.
that
Yeah,
that national anthem in Los Angeles, in America, when
yeah,
she sang it, also the orchestration did it. That's what did
yeah.
it.
And not to mention,
I'm a big music person. It's not just the vocals, it's the music.
yeah,
The
yeah,
orchestration was crazy.
yeah.
So
And not to mention, did anybody pay attention to the fact that both the teams that were playing were red, white, and blue?
yeah.
Yeah.
Both teams, the Giants and the Bills, their colors were red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the whole thing was just a big, gigantic, patriotic love fest. And
Yeah.
when Whitney came in and she brought it home, I have a whole lot of respect for that rendition because she's actually changed how people sang the national anthem from that point on.
Right.
They don't want to
Nobody,
outdo her. They want to outfeel her, and they
yeah,
can't.
you're not
Because
that. It was
that
the timing,
Olympic Games was so important to solidifying America's reign as a superpower that they don't realize or didn't realize how galvanized as a nation we were
right,
until 9/11.
right,
That was the next, and then what's his name? I'm proud to be an American
Oh,
boy.
yeah, yeah,
I know I'm
what is his
free.
name? I
Yeah,
forget his
but
name.
that was the next song.
right, right,
Thank God for USA.
yeah, yeah,
That's right. I'm singing it white because that's the way he sang it.
white,
But that was the
white,
white. And that was the next time that patriotism was at its all-time high.
right.
Because
They didn't.
believe me,
Yep.
before that,
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
the next time patriotism hit an all-time high was when Barack Obama was elected as the president, because we as black people knew our vote was never going to put him in the White House.
Right.
Everybody had to vote for him.
Right. Right. We understood the assignment.
We understood it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
knew it, but everybody else didn't realize, if y'all did this, we think that there's some saving grace in you.
Right.
From
Right.
the abolitionists to them, I mean, nobody can compare what the abolitionists did to giving Barack Obama the White House. But what I'm saying is that was the kind of galvanization
Right.
we needed at that point,
Yeah.
because you could look at a bumper sticker and you be ready to blow your horn, and then when you see they were white, you be like, okay, you get a pass. It was Obama bumper sticker. I love you a little
Right.
bit.
Right. Right. But you know what's
Because
crazy?
you on the
What?
same page as me. I
What's?
wanted the White House too. But guess
Yeah.
what? I didn't vote for the other black men before him that
No.
tried to get in the White House.
Right.
Why? Because one thing that I do not vote for is color.
Color.
And we need to learn,
And I was too damn
everybody
young to
needs to
vote.
learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And truth be
Vote for
told,
the
I
closest thing to a good person that you can vote for.
right. And when honestly, my vote for Barack Obama had a lot to do with his policy and history.
Right.
Because I'm not sure. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not sure that I wouldn't have voted for him anyway. But it was what he was talking about that kind of definitely helped seal it for me. It was when I heard him talking, when I heard what he was saying. I mean, we know politicians, regardless of your damn skin color, you're a politician,
Exactly.
you know. But but one thing I do know that one thing that is definitely very very authentic in this company in this country. We know that we have the best homegrown racism that money can buy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We
Absolutely.
got the best racism on the goddamn planet because it didn't take long for white folks to remind you that they don't like you.
Right.
Because the
Right.
moment Barack Obama got elected, they worrying about birth certificates. They worrying about all kinds of other shit. I mean, you got kids that were being detained, I believe in
Yeah.
North Carolina on a tree or some shit. It was so many different racist moments that happened after he became president. I mean, it, people think that the racism hit an all-time high when Trump got in office. No, that shit was already there when
Yeah.
Barack got there. Barack got there. It just it just turned into a powder keg once Trump got in.
I
Yeah,
think
we got
well-
called up to do Barack's inauguration. So
because
were
they thought
actually
something like
we,
that
we
was,
were actually on standby for the riots in DC.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it wasn't going to happen.
Mm-mm.
Not the way they thought it was, because there's one thing: white people voted for him.
Right.
And they
So why would you think that if the populace voted you in, it's not like some other countries where you're all the same race,
Right.
you know? It's like the populace voted you in. So that means that the majority of the vote came from white people.
once
Right.
he,
They still
Once-
had that one dude though drive that truck over in the White House lawn that one time.
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
And
to
what
him.
got him? What happened to him? He got.
but remember,
Right.
once he got elected the second time,
Yeah. It was
that's when
almost
the white
were
folks-
heated.
that's when the white folks was like,
They were
that's when they
let's
lost
get
their damn minds.
let's get rid of the electoral college and all that
Yeah,
shit.
they
This
was
is the
going
first
to-
time they talked about that.
Just like
They
they
was
changed
like-
the crossover rule for Allen Iverson. We need to level the playing field.
right.
Yeah, boy, they was getting pissed
We
because
gotta. How can he do
Man.
that? That ain't even part of the game.
Right.
yeah. And in
Remember,
all honesty,
they didn't want Duncan in the game. Let's be honest. They were like,
Yeah.
we can't do that. That's not in the game no more. Yeah, it is.
well, I mean, think about it. Like, how many after 9/11, And I'm talking about right after 9/11, right when when we were able to get on planes again.
Right.
Right.
How many times did you get on a plane? And I've heard a comedian say this, and it was hilarious to me because it's exactly what happened. How many times did you get on a plane and you get on a plane with white folk? Y'all don't talk to them, they don't talk to you. We just get on the damn plane, and the moment you see an Arab person get on the plane, everybody lock eyes, almost as if to say, "Now, if he
You
tries
know
some
we
shit,
watching you.
you got me, uh-huh." And it had said a word.
Right.
But the
Right.
problem with that is it was galvanized racism.
Yep.
Right.
Be like the second that dude stops smiling, we
I'm
got a
from
problem.
Istanbul.
Yeah,
I'm from Turkey. What are you doing? You
yeah.
know?
Because I'm gonna be honest, had he gone into anything on that plane that sounded like that he was getting ready to say something, we were sensitive.
Oh yeah.
We were
No.
sensitive. So you couldn't don't even pray. Wait till you get off the plane and
I
pray.
didn't have that problem because I don't fly.
And see me, I flew. I think right after I flew like 3 times, 3 different times. Now the first 2 times, yeah, like if I saw, because the problem with America is we're ignorant as shit. And so we think of people that get on there that have turbans on,
Right.
he's definitely. I'm like, no, there's some people that are Indians, there are
Right.
Arabs, there are Iraqi, there are people from different
Right.
regions. We
Turkey.
all don't come from the same damn place.
Yep.
They all don't come from the same damn. No, they got a towel on. They're dangerous. What the? Really?
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
this is what we think. So by the time I got on the plane the third time, and if any person, a person from the Middle East got on the plane, and they looking, don't look at me. I ain't helping you.
Right.
I just want to get to where the fuck I got. He ain't worried about your ass. This man is probably a prince.
Right.
He may have billions of dollars in his country. He's not worried about your broke ass.
Only if
Come
he's
on.
sitting in
Right.
first class. He ain't going
Exactly.
to sit in
Exactly. He
economy.
walked right past us too, so he went up to the front of the damn plane. You know what that means, right? That means that he's not getting peanuts; he's getting filet mignon. Sit your ass down and relax.
Why
He's
pay
not sitting.
extra if you going to die?
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy though,
Right?
just to watch that
Makes sense.
shit, because that was the only
It ain't
time
going
that
to land, so my last meal going to be filet mignon. Nah, you going to be like, I just want to get it over with so I can have my virgins. What is it, 70 virgins?
yeah, something
I
like
am
seven.
not,
72.
Yeah,
believe me,
72.
I am not demeaning your religion. I'm
no,
just saying that I'm trying to be accurate because I know
yeah,
that you believe that if you die in jihad is what it's called, right?
I
I
think so.
believe so.
If you die in
Yeah, like
jihad, that means that you are given, Allah gives you
the
72
virgins.
virgins.
I have no clue.
I would love 72 virgins, but I
Not
do
me, because the
not.
virgins are annoying. They don't know shit.
But then they all going to follow you around for the rest of your eternity.
Well, who the
I
fuck they
love
doing? Don't
you.
know what the fuck
I
they doing.
love
I need
you.
somebody with bullet wounds and bills.
Well,
I need somebody that been on a stripper pole with
well,
C-section scars.
like the one comedian said, what is his name? The guy with all the puppets. What did he say?
Oh,
Oh.
that's
Oh.
Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham. He said, yeah, so you get 72 virgins, but nobody guaranteed that they were all female.
So women don't get 72 virgins?
I have no idea. I honestly,
I don't think so. Some
women
places
don't get those kinds of.
are allowed to drive still in some of those places.
Yeah,
They're not allowed to yell at women. You remember what happened to that black woman who yelled at a man?
yeah. I'm gonna be honest
Yeah.
with you. Like for me, like the way if you look at how a lot of these other countries are run, because a lot of people want to say these women are subjugated. These women don't have to
You
work,
be in
and
jail. Don't
yeah,
even look at
but
me.
here's the thing: a lot of these women don't have to work, and many of them have successful businesses that they own. And because see, people thinking, working as far as and that's the only way that you can work is if you're working for somebody else. No, these women own their own businesses and they have the support of their family. They're not actually working for another man or another company. They're
Mhm.
working for themselves.
Right,
So
right.
Right.
many of them, they're not subjugated at all. They chose that life. They chose that. So
Mm.
they're not choosing any kind of subjugation at all. they're happy in their lives. We're the ones that be going through miserable shit. You know what I mean? So it's just
But
like when
I go ahead,
huh?
finish.
But
Go ahead.
when you look at the way that we describe a lot of the times, a lot of us in America, especially a lot of our ladies in America, describe these women from these other countries like they're subjugated and they're slaves and this, that, and the third. These women don't see themselves that way. And honestly, when you have a conversation with one of them that are actually from that country, that are within those rules and everything like that, they're just as happy as they could possibly be. They're well taken care of. They have family lineage. They usually have family money, and they're
Yep.
contributing. In the way that they feel is the best way for them to contribute. And they don't have. Don't get me wrong. They're not perfect. No person or region or people is perfect, but they don't have the same dumb shit that we go through over here.
Oh,
But right
and
quick,
they are very well protected too. Like
Oh, absolutely.
when I was out in Germany, most single females weren't allowed out after dark without a male escort to make sure that somebody was always taking care of them.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
they're very well protected.
Yeah. I don't know how many of you guys have been watching the series with Zoe Saldana called Lioness.
Not yet.
Not
You
yet.
need to watch it because you're going to get a rude awakening. Because I just gotta let y'all watch it because I'm telling you, it's a eye-opening look at two things:
Hmm.
other countries and how their women are treated,
Right.
and America and how they treat other people.
Mm.
And if
Wow.
you've got to watch, I'm finished this season. I
Okay.
can't wait to see where they're going to take this because this has been crazy. Like, I mean, the whole energy of this show, Zoe Saldana has her and Nicole Kidman
Right.
Nice.
have put together an amazing show that I can't believe it. I mean, like people will watch it, they know.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to spoil 1 minute of this for anybody. If you have not watched Lioness
Hmm.
with Zoe Saldana, they got Morgan Freeman, Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this
They got
show
heavy
is,
hitters.
yeah. And guess
Nice.
what? They don't pull no punches. That show is crazy.
You got Morgan Freeman on TV.
Yeah, verbal threat, black. This is verse. We got Raw and Jay on the beat. We got Smoke. This goes to all y'all hating ass niggas who ain't fucking with us. Check it, yo.
Good evening, everybody. This is your boy J.I. in a mild, laid back, different edition, the 9/11 edition of the Grown Man Click podcast. We are without our boy Richie Rich today. Richie Rich had to take care of some business, but bro man just checked in. He ain't get far enough into the screen. There's bro man Bryant just checked in, man. But you got over here to my left is my boy.
Van Gogh.
To my right is my boy.
Scott T.
We got Miss Sheila over in the peanut gallery. We have Jay Nicole over in the gallery. Of course, we've got the producer you're not used to, Eli. He's here too. But we wanted to just bring it back up a little bit because it's like this topic talking about 9/11, where you were, what you were doing,
Right.
it can be triggering
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
because it'll bring back memories. I mean, I can remember what the hospital was like back then. I can remember everything that happened that day and how busy and how hectic it was, and seeing people in full armored military gear
Right.
running through
This is our
the
generation.
hospital, running.
This
They were
is-
not walking, they were running
Thi-
because they were shipping people from, I mean, it wasn't even just, they weren't even just using the shock trauma helicopters, they were using military helicopters. If you ever seen the scene from MASH, when after a Vietnam conflict broke out, and it would be helicopter after helicopter after helicopter. That's what it was like down at University of Maryland. That's
Right.
where I was during that time.
This is our
It was
generation's
crazy.
It's probably
JFK and
my
MLK.
aviation unit.
It was crazy.
It was
Right.
probably the aviation unit I was with.
When I say I've done a lot, I've done a lot. But being there at the University of Maryland Medical Center, big shout out to all of the first responders there. I mean, people didn't go home for 4 or 5 days.
Right.
He asked me if I was a candy striper.
Oh shit.
No, I,
That's
I
funny.
wasn't that important because they actually were more important than me, believe it or not, because they were taking care of the well-being of the people who were waiting for their loved ones and everything. But big shout out to the candy stripers, but they were mostly male down there. But anyway, you wouldn't have had any fun at all.
Wow.
But no, we just took a grown man break, so we were bringing it back up because we get ready to do everybody's favorite segment in a minute. But the whole idea is that we in that time was so heavy for everybody, and being in a hospital, it was even crazier because like if somebody gets shot in Baltimore, you might see a couple detectives, a couple people with their, service weapons and everything out. But this was people in full military gear, AK, what are they? No, y'all
ARs.
AR-17s on their chest, and they're running through the hospital, like moving people out the way because they were bringing people in. They weren't even like just coming from the choppers. They were bringing in ambulances, not just through shock trauma, but wherever there was a door,
Right.
Right.
because nobody wanted to waste time. So it was crazy. And I just wanted to say that time I thought I was just doing like the least with myself at that point because I was just a restaurant manager. And after a couple weeks had passed, they actually came by, all the doctors and stuff, and gave us a round of applause at the restaurants because
Wow.
we were just important and vital to them
Yeah.
being able to, they appreciated it. And yeah. No, what? What did he say? Wendy's. I've never worked at Wendy's, asshole. Anyway. Okay.
Okay,
y'all
he coming for you.
We just stopped.
Good
and we
evening,
didn't even-
Shauna.
That's
Let's
Shauna.
go
Hey,
down
Shauna,
the
how are
list.
you?
Let's go down
Hey,
the list
Shauna.
of everybody because I know what they didn't hear us. We had Kirsty.
Christy was
Christy.
on.
I don't have on my glasses. Go for it, fellas.
Christy was on. Nelly was on.
Jesse was on, Shauna.
Fredericksburg.
Shauna just came
Shauna
on.
just popped in.
All right.
Hey, Miss Shauna.
What's up, Miss Shauna?
I know what I don't have them on. They only work when they're on your face.
Joking.
You need Jesus.
Because you no, it's far away.
Flowers or powder for you.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's time for your favorite part of the show. I know it's a little late, but it's never too late if you want to slap somebody into a sewer grate. This is Flowers and Powder. And who's going to introduce the section? You know who is. The guy who does it every week. The man you know on the go is Van Gogh.
All right, so this is the section of the show called Flowers and Powder for everybody that's new. Flowers and Powder is a segment where you can give somebody flowers if they've done something nice during the week or, been kind to you or just been real understanding about things. But for those special occasions and those people that have no idea what's going on, that do stupid things all the time, like wash their feet with their socks on, for example, you go ahead and dust both of your hands with powder and you smack the crap out of them.
You know what? You might want to stay away from anybody that washes their feet with the socks on. That's a serial killer. That's a serial killer. Yeah, he's doing something else. He's doing something else.
Yep.
He washes his feet in his hands. Okay.
Come on.
You want to come over to the mic?
Take a mic. Here we go.
I'm gonna give Jerry Brown his flowers.
Uh-oh.
I stole some shrimp earlier. I just want to tell you, it was just one. It was just one.
Notice he said some shrimp.
Mind your business, yo.
Some is one.
You
Look,
just put it out there.
Some is one.
My hand go up.
Okay.
But no,
Wow. Yes.
but no, for real. Like Jerry family, they cook like Southern Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like everybody can cook too, except for like Sheila think you like the worst out of all of them. I'm just joking. That's what Jerry said. So,
Wow.
but no, like I want to give my dude his flowers because I can always get a plate. You know, I don't miss no meals. You know what I'm saying? So I can bring my kids over, he can feed them, all that stuff. I have, and he did. I can pretty much raid the equipment closet. I mean, I ask sometimes. But if I walk through in the shit right here, I'm just gonna take it. I hope I get it back before he knows what's
But
coming.
you leave a note though. You leave a note though.
But certain shit, you know, I took it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he got the key to my studio. You just go get it back anytime you want. I had this nigga green screen shit for like 2 years. And I only use it once a month. You know what I mean? But nah, I'm gonna give my dude his flowers. I love you, big bro. Love you too. Definitely a mentor in photography for me. I think I was on your team first. No, I was on Thomas' team first. At like then I got on your team. So you know that was an adventure. Jerry hates bridges. Okay? Listen. It's all love. It's all love.
Oh man.
So we in the passenger van, right?
Uh,
And Life Touch, it's like a prison on wheels. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Voldemort. Voldemort
Wow.
photography. All right, we're gonna do that. So Voldemort photography had these vans, 2 seats in the front, then a bench seat, and the rest was full of equipment. And it was 8 niggas in the van. Like I'm saying, we literally sitting on top of each other. So this is the first time this happened. So I'm be driving, we going across the bridge. Jerry stops the car before the bridge and was like, B, I need you to drive. Drive where? Across this bridge. What bridge? This bridge. Why? He's like, yeah, I don't like bridges. This nigga got in the back with the equipment. Put a hood on, a blindfold. You know what I'm saying? He ain't want to see shit. He ain't want to hear shit. No water, no birds flying over that. Nothing. And then I called his wife. I said, Sheila, you know your husband do this? I was joking. I ain't gonna- You know, the first part is true though. He was in a case. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, Jerry, he petite and shit, but you know what I'm saying? He was back then.
oh shit.
Petite.
Jerry and Jay was the same size.
Oh.
Skinny.
Oh.
Don't act like that. You turn to the side, you're gonna disappear. Stop it. So don't stand by this pole. I'm gonna lose you. but definitely, big bro, I love you.
Oh man.
Sheila, I love you too for putting up with this big, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody got to. I'm still gonna get in.
Oh man.
Man.
Well, I wasn't expecting to have a roast tonight.
Oh man.
Wow.
Anyway, that was a welcome break from the heaviness of the early part of the conversation. But as we were saying, Van sent up flowers and powder. So does anybody have any flowers or powders to give out?
I'll go first.
Go right
Powder.
ahead.
Good man.
Powder?
I will go first with powder.
Go right
Okay.
A lot of powder. I'm talking like a 50-pound bag of flour dropped on somebody from about
Dang.
10 stories up.
Wow.
So here's what happened. Went to do a job for the owner of a condo. I get there, and the job was to put in a hood vent over a stove.
Why it
Right.
gotta be hood?
The first thing that I noticed is, why does this lady want a hood vent over the stove if there's already an exhaust vent built behind the stove? So I was like, all she's going to do is recirculate the air and throw all that stuff into the unit instead of out through the exhaust vent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little confused. So I explained that. And she's like, but I still want the range hood. Can you put it in? So I was like, well, let me see, what I can do. So the wall to the right in the kitchen is concrete, and it's got one outlet right there. So I can't get power from there. Then there's another outlet that's off to the left of the stove near the sink. And I can't really get power from there because the exhaust vent in the wall vents through the whole building up to the roof.
Mm.
So I can't even get power to where the roof vent is supposed to go without basically tearing that whole wall out.
Right.
This lady says to me, is it about the money? I said, what?
No, it's about your student.
No, it's not about the money. You have to tear the wall out, remove a whole vent to put one wire in, to put in a hood fan that's not even going to blow the smoke out of
the
your
room.
unit. Like, that's the stupidest thing ever.
Dorothy downstairs has one.
Nobody in the building had one. Nobody in the building had one.
Because they have exhaust fans behind their stoves.
Right. So then I explained to the owner what was going on. The owner said, yeah, I completely understand. She's just being difficult about things. I was like, I can tell she's being difficult because she doesn't understand that I can't run wire in concrete, and I can't exactly run an electrical line through an exhaust vent. So then it was, well, can you go from the wall behind that? Ma'am,
What?
the exhaust vent is in the entire wall. It goes from this side of the wall
How rich
to
is
the
she?
back side of the. She's not. It was a studio condo. It didn't even have like a bedroom.
So
it was just,
her money don't match her aspirations.
her money didn't match her brain, because I figured if she had money, she'd have a little bit more education behind her too. So
Hey, we missed a new person in the peanut gallery. Eric joined in. What's up, Eric?
Yeah, what up?
What's
E?
happening,
what's
man?
up?
So in this case, if dumb was dirt, she'd be an acre.
Sounds about that, right?
Yeah,
Or if dumb was dirt, she'd be a football field.
probably 15 cents short of a nickel. Like it was bad.
That's
So-
that old school math. I don't even get that. I'm trying to figure it out.
And my dumb ass tried to add it. Like, wait a minute, hold up.
15 take away. Wait a minute.
Carry the one.
The square root of the hypotenuse.
Yeah,
equals
you're in the negative, regardless of how you do that math.
Yeah, bottom line, yeah.
She was So then it was.
If dumb was trick, she'd be a no trick pony.
Then it was, what time is the new refrigerator getting there? It's like, I don't know. You'll have to call Best Buy and find out. Then it was, well, can't you just plug in the exhaust vent to the other outlet? No.
It's
Why
not a
would you want an electrical cord drooping over a gas stove plugged into the wall for all that insulation and shit to melt? And no, you can't do that.
Wow.
So yeah, she needed to just get all the powder in the world.
Sound like she needed some help. She don't need to be living on her own. Shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have no powder. I do actually have flowers.
Okay.
What?
We
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
little flower. I
yeah,
mean, powder every now and then.
yeah. So apparently somebody saw one of my latest Teddy files that I put up.
Which one?
The one about the summer fragrances to wear before the summer is over.
You
And
know what? I'm gonna let you know something. It's weird because when I watch your Teddy Files on my phone,
mhm.
it will not allow me to like or share it.
Oh
I don't
really?
know why. Yeah, when I'm watching them on YouTube,
Yeah,
it will not allow me on my phone to do that. When I watch them on screen, like when I'm sitting here during the day on the screen, I
yeah.
can like and share it.
Oh,
And
okay.
when you see me like and share it, that's because I'm in the office. But if I'm watching them, like maybe it's because I'm driving and they cut off that function when you're driving, so I shouldn't be trying to do it anyway. I don't
It
know, but
might be, bro. It might be.
it might be. But
Yeah.
I want to make sure that if I'm on my way to the store, I'm up on my Teddy Files because that's when you're gonna find out the best fragrances. So why go to a store and buy a cologne and it smell like donkey piss with a little bit of porcupine urine in it when you got Teddy telling you exactly how to smell good?
Yeah. So apparently, this young man, I'm not gonna say his name on here, but he he reached out to me. It says, look, a lot of the guys in the fragrance community, I wonder if you guys are getting paid to recommend these fragrances. And I told him, I said, young brother, I've paid for every single fragrance that's on this wall. The wall that you see behind me was all my money. So I ain't nobody gave me nothing. He said, so I'm trying to go on a date. It's a new girl. Um, I just want to know if you could recommend something. I said, well, because it
Ooh,
was this week,
got
it was this
that
weekend
ready.
just passed. So I told him it's going to be hot, so you might want to wear like a blue fragrance or something like that. He says, okay, so what am I looking for? I said, just quickly, I said, you know what? Try Abercrombie and Fitch, uh, um, blue, first instinct blue. He found it, he wore it, and apparently the young lady was all over him because he smelled wonderful. So I have another subscriber, so I want to give flowers out to the young man who took my advice.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and yeah, so now I got an extra subscriber to the page, and he'd say he's gonna be sending it out to other people because that's the first time that anybody from fragrance community actually answered him when he asked the question.
Wow.
Yeah, he said because usually he'll reach out to the guys and
They too
sometimes just
the
say
answer.
something. Yeah, he said the fact that I actually took the time to talk to him and personally recommend something to him, he felt like that was really awesome.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that's what I'm here to do.
That's what's up.
That's
So
what's
if you
up.
want to have a wonderful date, people buy that.
Got you.
Abercrombie and Fitch blue.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that would be first
Yeah.
instinct blue. So
Got
yeah,
Got you.
well for now, and once it start getting cold, don't wear that.
No,
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
you.
because you smell like you got blue balls.
yeah, you don't want to smell. You don't want to be smelling all fresh. You want to get a little bit more sweet. A little
Yeah.
bit more. Get a
Musky.
little bit more robust in the
Yeah.
wintertime.
Got you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Flowers, powder?
Yeah, I got flowers.
Who you got flowers for?
I got flowers to the entire new family I gained up north in Toronto.
Oh, I think she followed me the other day.
Who?
You know who.
I don't know who. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm about to put you on blast, brother.
I for the first time went to Canada last week, and I don't use words like fun and happy and that type of shit.
That ain't her,
Is not her.
bruh. I could swear that was her because she started following me right after the trip. And you see what her name is, right?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Look, I give one of these to myself.
Anyway,
Would you be upset?
I don't know. Oh, I'm not upset. I'm just saying I don't know who that is. So yeah, no, flowers out to the entire city of Toronto because y'all opened your doors to your boy, and I appreciate it.
Very nice.
That's it.
I gotta give that one. But you was with your brother E, so I mean,
Yes, sir.
and you didn't give him flowers for his birthday?
I don't give him any flowers, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's a big up then. Say big ups to my brother, birthday, whatever. God damn. Big ups to Eric for his birthday.
Yeah, big up.
Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday, brother.
But he says, but in Texas, he could wear that all year long because it's too hot.
Right? You can wear that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
In
can see
Texas, you can wear
cactus,
it.
if you anywhere you see cactus all year round, you could wear Abercrombie and Fitch blue.
Well, look,
But
if,
but
if
if
you
it's
in Texas, then you might want to grab that right
you
there,
gonna
baby.
get a recommendation.
That Versace.
Versace au bleu.
Mano Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that. You in Texas? Look,
All
you
your
may have
exes will
you may
be
have some
protected.
issues. If you married, don't wear this. If you married, look, I'm giving you a warning right now. If you are married and you are not currently out with your wife when you're wearing this, take your ass back home. Get your wife.
Mm.
If you go out wearing this without your wife, you're gonna get the kind of attention that she's gonna have a problem with.
Yo, Teddy,
Yes, sir.
that was Versace. Which one was that?
Mano Fresh.
Man au fresh.
Yes, sir. And if you ever want to know what exactly it looked like, this is the beautiful blue.
Oh.
And as you can see, I wore that. I got
Yeah.
I got a dent in that.
You ain't wear that much.
Hey, bro,
You wore it about 8 times.
think about it like this. You see all the fragrances I got, and you see that dent? That's a hell of a dent.
Yeah, true.
Yo,
Yeah.
Eric said he need to holler at you, yo.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Holler at me, man. I got you. Matter of
Well,
fact,
you know what?
subscribe.
So I guess anybody else? Flowers, powder? You get your mic, Eli. Come on. You've been quiet as shit all night.
I've been trying
Yes,
to
sir.
keep my patience because there's so much with this 9/11 topic that I wanted to contribute to. But
But why did you wait? You the producer. All you got to do is cut on your mic and mute everybody else's. Wouldn't have heard.
because y'all guys are the eye candy and I'm just the ears, I just wanted to make sure that I go ahead and just suffer my voice.
Thank you for
I think that's
recognizing
the
that,
first
brother.
time. I think that's the first time anybody has called us eye candy.
That's the
Just
first
my
time they
voice.
called y'all eye candy. I've been called many times. Hold on.
Well, I
Wait.
want
I
to give out.
mean, I don't want to put my personal business in the street. I was trying to be solidarity with my brothers, but don't do that. I love you guys, but I mean,
I'm gonna give out.
her
flowers.
favorite song is Candy. So,
Yes, sir.
and you still haven't muted my mic. So I'm like, no, I'm joking. Go
All
ahead.
right, see, this is what I'm talking about. I want to give out flowers to the nonprofit organization Excellence Inhibitions. When you was talking about what happened on 9/11, that is pretty much where I was with consulting with Danelle Pender Austin, and she had this great our conversations about organizing and helping the youth and helping being part of Baltimore community and things of that nature, getting really back to the community. So these was the conversations that we was having back then. So I definitely want to give them their flowers and their shout outs because they are still living that those goals today.
Cool.
I got some flowers to give out. I got to give flowers out to my niece, my beautiful chocolate niece, my other daughter, Java. Java graduated from college with her engineering degree, and we had an
Congratulations.
amazing celebration for her.
Nice.
Another black engineer in the place, already working in Pennsylvania in her field. Yeah, we're gonna give it up to her.
Nice.
Damn right.
And I just want to say thank you, and I want to give flowers out to the lovely young lady to my left because I know y'all have heard about it, and she has done such a great job. But what I didn't get a chance to share with you is that Leo in August, the web series that my wife has been working on, is now in the festival series. It's been submitted to festivals
Congratulations.
and we're waiting to hear back. So by the end of the night, you'll figure out where we're going with that. But oh my gosh, we are over time, aren't we?
No,
Yep.
Yes, sir.
127. It
Yeah.
looked like 137. I'm sorry. I
127.
must need better glasses now because I can't see either screen. And usually I'll be working it.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're a little bit further back because it's less of us.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is. We wanted to fill the space, huh?
Yeah, Eli.
Or you just got to put your glasses on.
I can't read the screen when I put my glasses on because I'm nearsighted. Ah, yeah. Then it'd just be magnified to the point where I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for your comment. And that don't work. So, but we are closing in on the end of this podcast. But I wanted to do some sharing tonight, and I'm giving people their flowers this way because I don't want you to ever think that I don't find how important you are to me. So, Grizzly,
Yes,
it's
sir.
time for you to get some flowers.
Wow. Wow, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
We not done yet because you got to talk about them both. Hold on.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I appreciate
And
it.
if you don't know, now you know, and we're gonna let Grizzly tell you why that is so important. Grizzly, fill him in.
Well, the second trailer that JB showed you was for my first book, which is called Infection, which is now available in Amazon. So if you want to check out Infection, it's available for $9 over on Amazon. It's an ebook for the moment. Pretty soon I will be having the paperback and hardback books, but it's available on Kindle over on Amazon. And the second book is right now in the middle of editing. It'll be done soon. It's called 341. 341 is more of a personal situation for me because the events that happened in that book actually happened to me in real life. So when you decide, to read 341, I'll say this to you about that book. I apologize in advance.
Wow.
Dang.
I gotta get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we go to the wrap up, I want to present you one more thing because you've heard me talk about it, but now we about to be about it. Here is the official trailer intro for Leo in August.
Wow.
That's
Nice.
right. And
Awesome.
ladies and gentlemen, yeah, let's give them an applause. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time announced here on the podcast, we will be having the entire or partial, as many as we can get in the room, cast, crew, and members of the production staff of Leo and August in the studio next Monday.
Nice.
That's why I'm keeping her off screen. She don't need to be seen tonight or heard tonight. Don't even say woohoo. I don't want to hear you. Next week
It's all about
is
you.
all about you and Leo and August and what you guys did to create one of the, I think it's gonna move. And from the people who have seen it and the people who are in the know, they say it's gonna move. So
Right.
I just want to say, hey, I can be partial because that's my wife. That's my wifey. That's my Booskins. And what most people don't know, that's my Mookie. Hey Mookie. That's what I call her. But the whole idea is that she did an amazing job on this project. She didn't even listen to me. So yeah.
Right.
No, certain things she just said, fuck you. I got it. I
That's
got
what
it.
I'm doing.
Yeah. This what I'm doing. Right here. This is what I'm doing. So anyway, before we wrap up, Teddy, can you tell them where they can find you on Wednesdays? Please tell them.
Every single Wednesday, you can find me on the Sophisticated Grizzly podcast at 8:15 p.m. You can find us over on YouTube. Preferably go to YouTube because apparently that's where you can see it the best. We don't stream on Facebook anymore, but we will stream on Twitch and on Twitter if you prefer those two. So make sure you come check out me, Lady Shy, the Grown Man Click podcast, Bass, Miss Marcy, Miss Bronwyn, and whoever else may decide to show up. And what we're talking about this week, you're going to have to come and see.
Oh,
Cool.
hold on. I almost made you exit, but I needed to exit solo part. There we go. I ain't want to put you totally out. I was like, hold it. You're not muted, are you?
I just took it off.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
That would have been
It's,
a hell of an exit, though, right?
yeah. Bye.
Cool.
Thanks for the shout out, bitch. Bye.
Thank you. I'm out.
But, so I just want to wrap it up by saying we just need y'all to do what we ask y'all to do every week. It's the three most important things. We need you to like, share, subscribe. That's all we want. If you do that, you can get all of your friends in on the funny. You can get all your friends in on the serious. You can get all your friends to join in on Monday nights on the Grown Man Click podcast so that you can be a part of the amazing energy that we give out every Monday. We do not lack in energy. And what we lack in energy, we gain in size.
We got merch.
And here's the thing.
Oh,
Where,
you know
where,
what? Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
Where,
Go
where
ahead.
can you? Where else could you go at to learn about photography, fragrance, and tomfoolery than to come here to the Grown Man Click
That's
podcast?
right.
All at the same time.
And I'm sorry, but if you haven't seen the Grown Man Click swag, oh my gosh, our shirts are ridiculous. We have so much good swag out here. I mean, like we have the never forget t-shirts because you know that Alabama slammer with the chair up against the hammer. That's what we got. We are gonna do a commercial. We got to do a commercial just for them.
Okay.
But even if you just want it, we have. I'm gonna break it out. I gotta let them see this right quick. I like having these separate chairs. It's easy to move. I'm gonna move close to the camera so y'all can see this. But that is our logo. That's a pretty fine looking t-shirt there, sweatshirt there. So it's warm, you can get it. You see it's got a price tag on it. You can get it. Gold with cream. We have so much swag.
Swag.
And don't forget, we got the teddy gear.
That's right. Oh, I guess I should grab one of those, huh?
Well, I don't have your commercial here, so how close is it?
It's right there. One
Go ahead,
second.
grab it. We got about 7 minutes left. Come on. Never forget, they've been seeing it all night. You see, I got it placed. But we just want to thank you guys for all of the great positive energy and watching and sharing. But do it some more. We want to grow this point to the point where everybody's laughing with us on Monday night.
Right.
I mean, we got so much that we want to share with y'all. Like over the next couple of weeks, we got some new topics and new things that we're gonna be going out on the limb with. Cause we go off the deep end. We're not afraid to swim in the deep pool end of the pool. We both all of us know how to stroke pretty good, right?
Stroke, yeah. Swim, no.
You don't know how to swim.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. I need to take all y'all to the pool up in Jersey and
Nah.
teach y'all how to swim.
Nah, that's all right. I'm good.
There it is.
That's
Oh,
that
yeah,
Teddy
yeah,
swag.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So
Yep.
that's the Teddy Swag University. That's what we
That's
do
right.
here. Y'all need to support us the same way we going to support y'all. If you got something coming out, let us know. We will show up. I
That's
want to
right.
give a big shout out. I didn't get a chance to tell them when they were on the screen, but the He Said She Said podcast, Love and Abundance,
Absolutely.
the Harris Tribe Media Group. I was on their podcast this past Thursday.
Right.
Oh my gosh, their subject was priorities. It was amazing. We had
Yeah.
such a great time. I'm gonna have to bring the whole GMC over there so that y'all can see what I'm talking about when I'm there, because it was great. We did such a great topic, great show, and we killed it. Like they always give amazing content. So
Nice.
don't ever forget, we support everybody who supports with us. So
That's right.
Mrs. He Said She Said, Marcy's, what is her Caesar Stay and Play?
Caesar stay and play. Yep. Caesar
You
stay
know,
and play.
you don't even have to tell me. We all know this stuff because we support and we love each other,
Yeah.
and we want to grow our black community all together.
Yeah.
We
And
also
lady.
have Iron Crown Media Group. We also have
Yeah.
Dream
Cute
DMV.
LLC.
Dream DMV. We have Cute
Yeah, you got
LLC. I'm gonna see
Yeah.
Cute LLC next tomorrow.
The lavish and lean part.
tomorrow.
The Lavish and Lean podcast. No, it's the Baltimore,
Baltimore
Lean
Lean
Show.
Baltimore Lean Show.
Baltimore Lean Show. You had us together last week. That was crazy.
You got Select Gang.
Don't forget Slut Gang. We're never gonna forget Slut Gang. Yo,
Shit.
by the way, Mr. Nees is all right. He didn't scrape a knee or anything. He's good. He just called us and
good.
told us he had some shit to do tonight. So we gonna give him a pass.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna cuss him out.
He was knee deep in a few things.
Yeah.
Shout out
So
to
that
Slut
means the
Gang.
mud only 2 feet.
Yeah.
Knee deep for him is 2 feet. So
Yeah. Somebody sent him the wrong jar of shea butter. That's what happened.
oh,
Bad reaction.
brown sugar babe, your knees too low, don't know how to behave.
Shit.
And we done?
I think
Yep.
that's,
We done?
I think we're done.
I forgot nothing.
Let,
Yes, sir.
as we say every week, if you're gonna do good, do good. But if you do bad, do really bad, so they know that you meant it. Peace.
Goddamn it.